A pleasant Monday morning to the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis, to the regional and international diaspora, wherever you're listening to us from. Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. It's just about 4 minutes after the hour of 8. Just to remind you, we're being simulcast on TVC Channel 40, on Facebook as well as YouTube. We're also on your FM dial at 98.9. Our local number is 466-0989. In the U.S., 1-305-921-4619 or 1-718-285-6984, or in the U.K., 0333-440065. Good morning, Biff. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Hortensia. I am blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks. What about you?
I'm trying to be better than yesterday. With all that's happening in and around the world, everywhere you turn is problems.
Girl, tell me about
As
it.
Minister Webb say, only Jesus alone can solve them, because he's really the man with the plan. As I was telling you the other day, we shouldn't just pray when we have International Day of Prayer. We should start the week with prayer. So Monday, people should be on the highways and the byways, the prayer warriors. I pray privately. I may not be a warrior like them, but I may be a warrior in my own way, but come out on Monday, start off the week, let people know we're serious about this life. And Friday, end the week in prayer again, so that we'll have everything flowing smooth. I know Greg says a country that doesn't have Jesus at the helm has to suffer. And we see recently, even in Barbados, I'm looking in Trinidad, everywhere I look, there are murders. And who are dying mostly? Young men.
Young people.
Young men. This is great. Even a little girl lost her life in Trinidad, an 8-year-old.
Wow.
Just, I guess, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. So her, a female, and 2 young men. Again, young men.
That reminds me of Antigua. Well, last month it was, there was this 18-year-old and 17-year-old, 2 youngsters, a male and a female, who were killed.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know.
Barbados had 3 homicides Sunday night. They had some homicides a few days ago where a law student was killed. They said he was in the wrong place because he's not known to be in anything.
Wow. But you don't have to be in something for you, like you said, to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it is sad, really.
Yeah, we have to say condolences to those parents that would have lost their sons, because they're somebody's sons on the weekend.
Course, brothers and uncles.
I know.
And maybe even dads.
Oh boy. So the young ones have to grow up without their parents. We had our first murder on the 2nd. That was the young man, the 18-year-old guy. Again, look how young that was, Mr. Hanley. Then we had our second homicide on the 5th of April. That's a 39-year-old, still
Chubby.
a young man.
Chubby.
That would have been Chubby. Then on the 18th of April, Jared Stapleton. And now, I don't know if to say the 19th or the 20th, we had a young man. I'm not sure about his name just yet. So, you see, all young men.
It is sad, really. It is
Very
really sad.
sad.
So that's 2 murders within 1 day, 2 days, and then 3 murders in about a week and a half. It's really ridiculous.
It's hard.
And especially when the day before Saturday, the Prime Minister met the police high command to discuss the Chubby murder. The third murder. Chubby was the second.
Yeah.
And shortly after, there's this. And this is not the first time something like this has happened, in terms of a meeting to discuss it, and as if persons haven't walked out the room properly, then that happens.
Yeah, but I heard also, I saw on a page on Facebook that they had gunshots up at Buckley sometime there. I think it was last week. That person survived and is being hospitalized.
Yes, with 4 shots or something like that, I think.
Yeah, so it's just, oh boy. So condolences to the families as they continue to mourn their loved ones. There really isn't much to say. It's just disheartening that we just had somebody announce. I saw a clip where a taxi driver was saying, "Oh, our murder rate is low." I think I mentioned it already on the. And then look at this, just 1, 2, 3, just like that.
Well, that is bad cartels here, but Trinidad and Tobago police, they uncovered 56 bodies.
Yeah.
Mostly children at a cemetery.
Yeah, but and then I'm getting conflicting report because I read the one that you sent. The only thing that aligns is the fact that it was 50 babies, We had 4 adult males and 2
two
adult
females.
females. So that's the total of 56. So the story that I read before and yours align. But then the story that I read prior to yours said that they had 2 young men in custody that said they were told to dispose of the bodies, and the bodies looked like they came from a funeral home. So the article that you sent me also said these are probably unclaimed bodies because, and what 2 made them identify that it came from a funeral home, it has the tag that they put on your
Yes,
toe.
and to say
To say,
whatever it is, the information. But that is ridiculous,
But maybe those are bodies that I want, and I'm not making an excuse for whoever did it, because the article that I read too said a silver car sped off, because it said the garden of the cemeteries who took the 2 young men to the police station. I think one of them was 18.
Wow.
And one of them were in their 20s. But I'm thinking, did those young men really not run away? Just went to the station with the gardener? The gardener had some kind of weapon that made them stay? But go ahead.
The funeral home, if the allegations are correct, going to be in serious trouble. I mean, you just don't dispose of bodies like that in the cemetery, claimed or unclaimed.
Yeah, you should go through the proper...
inform the government, hey, we have 56 bodies here who have not been claimed, whatever. We have done this, done that to reach out, etc. So what do we do?
But the baby rate, though, what's up with you having 50 babies in your mortuary?
That's a high number. I mean, I can't even tell you.
So how long have those babies been there? That's my thing.
That's another question. I was about to say maybe they had issues with birth or whatever, but 50 is a lot, eh?
That's a lot of babies. And why wouldn't people claim their babies if their babies would have passed?
Exactly. And in Trinidad again, I'm hearing that the police station, an officer was on duty.
Gunned down.
And gunned down, and something like 60 Glocks missing, plus other guns and ammunition. The person going to form an army man?
Well, I was just listening to something, and it says that... Okay, it said it's a colleague, a 28-year-old colleague that masterminded the whole situation, so that's sad. Yeah.
That's really sad.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, and greeting once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from the sins and from hell, by the gospel only, through faith only, according to the word of God only, in Jesus only. Now, first of all, well, Carpenter, I have said as well, the Bible, quoting the Bible says, the effectual prayers of a righteous man availeth much. So it ain't just prayers, but our lives must first be in obedience to Jesus, and our religious organizations that we call churches, they must also be in obedience to Jesus Christ, which really and truly, these things are very scarce in the land, because we are playing all kind of games with the Bible, and God is not hearing our prayers, because we are not righteous before him by the blood of Christ. So we must first repent, and we must first get right and become righteous by the blood of Christ covering us, and then that is when God will hear our prayers. We are playing right now. We are playing too much games with the Bible, and God does not like that. We need to biblically repent of all of that. Now, Saturday gone. There was a program on Inside the News where the issue of Friars Bay with the bars was addressed. And I asked basically 2 questions. And I didn't get an answer, really and truly. Everybody playing political game. One of the things that I asked is that, does the squatters have owners' right? You know, because Edinburgh refer to them as squatters. So I asked, do they have squatters' rights? Could they claim the part of the land that they were operating on if that land were private? And Edinburgh quoted something, a legislation that had to do with government land, that government can chase you after the land, they can tell you go. And they could, and also that if you have licenses from the government to operate, the government can revoke them, that sort of stuff. No, that was not what I asked. I did not ask concerning government land. I asked concerning private land. You know, so to me, Edinburgh redirected our gaze to something shiny in the bushes rather than the issue at hand. Now, Hazard Gums now read something concerning leases. And as far as I know, nobody is saying that these people had leases. As far as I know. As a matter of fact, like I said, in Bauer said that they're squatters. So that thing that Hazard Gums read concerning leases, I don't know the relevance of it. So nobody answered that question. And I don't think it's a good look for Hazard Gums to be playing politician by not answering the question asked, but playing that you did when you actually have that. That's not good look for somebody who is trying to become a leader. Be honest, be upright. If you don't know, you do not know. And don't try to redirect people to something else that they didn't ask. Now, another thing that I asked was this. If there are on private land, okay, why is the government so involved? Other than giving an alternative place to relocate, other than that, giving another place to relocate, alternative place. Why, other than that, why is the government so involved to try to get these people off of private lands if they're on private lands? Because why not leave it between them all the parties, since it is a private issue, and let the courts settle the matter rather than the government getting involved? Again, like I said, Edinburgh again came with something that, like I said, had to do with government lands, crown lands, where the government can ask you to leave, which was not my question. My question was, if it is all private lands they're dwelling on, why the government is so involved, other than giving them a place to relocate, other than that, why is the government so involved in trying to get them off of private lands? Why not leave it to the courts? So anybody will try to misdirect again with that issue. And it seemed to me like everybody just playing games with the bar owners. You know, everybody just playing games with the bar owners. And reading something that to do with government or crown land, they did not address this issue because this is a private land issue.
Okay.
Greg,
So I was a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Greg,
Yes, you were saying something? Mm-hmm.
yes, it's an interesting point you made, in my view. Why is the government getting so intimately involved if it is private land? I cannot come up with any idea why. We'll probably have to seek some advice on that. Maybe there's something that we are missing. But the point you made to leave the owners and the bar owner and the owners of the land and the bar owners, let them tackle it out in court. To me, that seems a plausible avenue. But that's something we'll have to find out.
Yes, and I would also like to know, if it is private land, as Edinburgh said, they're squatting, do they have squatters' rights? Because they've been there for a long time doing the business.
That's another excellent question. The squatters' rights, if I'm not mistaken, it's after 7 years?
7 years, I think, I heard.
Yes, 7 years. So that's something we'll have to come to the bottom of, Greg. Thanks a lot for calling, and continue listening, and have a good day.
Thank you as well.
So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back after these messages.
different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitamalt bottles equal cash in your pocket. It's super easy. Just take those empty Vitamalt bottles to any Cara Brewery distribution truck or any drinks depot in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're keeping our beautiful Twin Island paradise clean. Vitamalt bottles equal cash back. Keep it clean, keep it green. Vitamalt bottle returns. Your bottles, your cash, your island.
Unlock the secrets to a healthier you. Join Dr. Natalie Osborne every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on WinFM 98.9 for Weekly Dose. During this 30-minute health discussion, we aim to educate and empower our listeners on the prevention of diseases, early diagnosis, and timely intervention. Don't miss out on this informative health talk where we teach you to live your best life. Weekly Dose, Tuesdays on WinFM 98.9.
Heritage matters to me. Heritage matters to you. Join me, Percival Hanley, this coming Friday and every other Friday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon for Heritage Matters on Win Media SKN 98.9. Heritage matters to me. Heritage matters to you.
Life can throw surprises your way. Because life, it just happens. With Sagicor, I plan for life's unexpected turns and have a safety net for me and those I love. Call your Sagicor advisor or visit sagicor.com to learn more. Because, well, life happens.
This is not a drill. Liat Air's 30-day advance sale is live right now. We're talking prices so low, you'll think we made a mistake. Spoiler alert, we did it. Say hello Barbados, hello St. Lucia, hello Antigua. Book 30 days ahead for ridiculously low fares across our Caribbean network. But hurry, seats are filling up like last roti at lunch fast. Visit www.flyliatair.com or call 1268-713-5428 today. Liat Air, pride of the Caribbean.
We have a caller on line, Hortensia.
All right, caller, go ahead. Good morning, you're live on Island T. Don't forget, we have traffic talk at 8:30 this morning, so we are asking everyone to stay tuned. Caller, go ahead.
Good morning. There's something, I think, more fundamental than and far-reaching than what's going on over at Friars Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It has to do, I think, with the mindset of some people in government, I think. There is, in my opinion, too much acquiescence to glitz and glamour and money and power and those privilege and those kinds of things, right? And all this at the expense of ordinary people. I say that because in this and other And you can quote other instances as well, whether it be for Thomas, Destiny in Nevis, where it seems as if government just give people who are coming in with money the permission to do whatever they want without proper consultation with the people. Nobody has seen, well, no, the public, when I say nobody, I mean the public at least, have seen the development plans for the area over at Friars Bay. Okay? So we have no idea of what's going to happen there. And this is to push people off the beach, essentially is buying a pig in the bag as far as I'm concerned. Not only are you doing that, you're transferring the problem to some beach somewhere else. In other words, we're not dealing with the fundamental issue.
When you say transferring the problem, what do you mean?
Well, I think the government is saying that they give them a choice of two other locations, one on South Frigate Bay Beach and the other, is it Cockleshell Beach?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The issue is always going to be there. What do you do when you have a development coming in that is adjacent to the beach, adjacent to these bars, local bars on the beach? What do you do in a case like that? Don't you try and find some happy medium and some coexistence, some way of accommodating these things, okay? Incorporate them into whatever development is coming, those kinds of things, rather than just chase the people around. That is the problem. And it comes from a mindset where somehow those in authority are mesmerized by those guys coming in, forgetting our history, forgetting the history where the privileged and the rich essentially made us pay to access things like beaches and those things. It's like we just forget about the history, right? And we know what happens when people forget the history. They just repeat. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. There's an overall mindset of people in government that I find concerning. They should be looking out for the interests of ordinary people here, right? Of course, we welcome investment, but in our terms, right? And there's no reason, as a matter of fact, I am sure that an investor could be persuaded that, hey, this is a going concern here. It has a lot of good reputation. Somehow incorporate it into your designs and so on, so that you can keep the clientele that will go there, as well as develop some of your own, right? And that is not happening. That is the problem I'm having. There's this push against the local person, as opposed to trying to persuade the developers themselves to acknowledge, appreciate the development of our country over the years, the installation of these things, the economic value and so on that they have, the cultural value that they have. And I'm sure that if a developer is approached from that angle, rather than the angle, oh yes, we want this, do whatever you wish there, or these people are in your way, get them all, we'll get them all. That is the impression I'm getting from the government, to be quite honest.
No problem.
Okay? All right then.
Thank you, caller, for your observation and your contribution, but everyone might say that is the case for real.
The point he made about transferring the problem, if wherever they go, if you can't see by the beach, by the land in that space, and you're being sold the land that the bar owners are on, we're going to have the same problem again.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Because
that's
it
why
now
I asked
becomes
him to explain. It's just
private property.
Yeah.
And I understand what he's saying. There has to be something fundamental to say, well, hey, Once these are on the land, we are not going to sell you. And again, remember, was it last week before I mentioned what happened in the initial negotiation stages or soon thereafter? That was key. Because at that point, the government could have said, yes, these guys are on it, but so we won't touch them, we won't leave them for whatever reason or reasons. Well, it'll be interesting to find out the space that they're on, how much.
I think they could have, because this is not a no government situation.
Yes,
this is
it's back from 2018 on
exactly.
the Team Unity.
So maybe they could have said, okay, can you not work with these persons to maybe, as we would say, modify the bars to suit your establishment, and they can, both the bar owners and the owner of the upcoming development could have gotten to a point where they could have come to some sort of agreement. Because normally although people come to fancy things, they like laid back things. Because you're in the Caribbean, it's laid back. Yeah, you're in the bougie Ritz-Carlton, but you could have upgraded the bars and made them to your liking, and everybody, it worked out. But I noticed they had a signage there with a Carib insignia, and it advertised the Varian bars. That was destroyed. But then the sign that's right there to go down to the beach access that says what you can do, how you get down, and where you can park, somebody vandalized that sign.
Tit for tat, perhaps.
And yeah, but it makes sense. Does it make sense?
Talking about that, I read an article on the weekend that said a visitor, tourist, had medical issues down at one of those beaches, and the ambulance had to park up on the road. And
the Coast Guard took the person across the Campbell
because the ambulance couldn't get access because they have big boulders. According to what we say colloquially, big stone, a lot of big stone in the road.
All right, so we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the officers on Traffic Talk. Stay tuned.
Insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
If you need protection, you'll need one who you can trust to secure your investment. You'll need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, we're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us. TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Your space is your brand. It speaks for you. So what is it saying? From the boardroom to the bedroom, our modern decorative light fixtures offer timeless designs with visual comfort. During April, TDC is making space for new arrivals. They have discounted selected Vision Decorate wall-mounted fixtures ranging from $60 to $115 to as low as $30 to $40. Elevate every corner, transform every moment, enjoy every second. Available at the TDC Home and Building depots on St. Kitts and Nevis and at shoptdcgroup.com.
And we are back on Island T. It is just about 34 minutes after the hour of 8. And with us in studio, we have Constable Bell as we continue our topic from last week, because, you know, we really don't get through our topics. And the topic as we continue is what to do when you get in an accident. And the last place, as I said, if I remember correctly, where we stopped, we were discussing insurance.
Yes.
Because that is a critical part. So, Constable Bell, Officer Bell, welcome back. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I worked over the weekend.
Oh, hard, I'm sure.
Well, not really, compared to the previous ones.
Okay, so they're listening.
Yeah, but there were accidents, though.
Okay, good stuff.
Every day.
Well, I don't mean good stuff in a sense, but yeah. Because up to yesterday, we were heading over to the peninsula, and I guess somebody wants to catch a boat, and there's a lineup of 5 cars, and that person is passing the 5 cars. Up comes a taxi. Dun, dun, dun. What they have to do, like they're begging the driver, like, don't you see what's going to happen? Like, give me in my head, that's what I'm thinking they are, because they like...
Give me a chance.
Yeah, like the drivers are trying their best. Eventually, they let the person in, and it was uneventful. But as soon as the taxi passed and the person could have dodged out again, they dodged out again. So I guess they were really trying to make the boat.
And they don't understand. When you get in an accident, it don't matter how much you're rushing. You get in an accident, you have to stay there.
Yep, and more I see the monkeys getting run over there, so I know something.
And we are seeing an increase with the sites of the deers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen one of them since last year, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them twice last year.
I actually saw one.
Oh, nice.
So I want people to be very careful, especially when they're driving in the night over the southeast.
All right.
Yeah, so to resume our topic, we were on the insurance, and as I was explaining last week, you know, sometimes persons get involved in accidents, and when they claim they don't have their insurance on them, and by the time they check their insurance, they realize that their insurance is expired. So, you know, they go and they renew it, and they come and they get the police, and they think just because they bring a valid insurance means that their vehicle was insured at the time of the accident. But the insurance policy always have the date and the time that it was issued. Okay? And if it's a further printout, like a copy, it would state that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see something here that says failing to produce your insurance is an offense. You mean after the 5 days or after the 5 days? Okay, all right.
Yes. So, down to the officers' action, all police officers must identify themselves when they are approaching anyone dealing with an accident, because you can't go and ask somebody for their name and they don't know your name. You know, it's just courtesy.
Yes.
So you identify yourself, you identify the persons involved in an accident. It doesn't matter if they are a driver, passenger, even if they are a witness, you know. You take as much information as you could, you know. Passengers, I want to encourage them, you know, when they're saying that they were a passenger in the vehicle, explain where they were seated in that vehicle. That is very important also, especially when it comes to omnibus. Yes, and as I said last week, sometimes persons are involved in accidents. They are passengers in omnibuses, and because they cannot wait, you know, they leave.
Yeah.
And then they come back days after to the police and they say, hey, I was involved in an accident. You know, they're trying to claim for something, but the driver didn't indicate that to the police. The police did not witness you there at the scene. So it's very hard for the police now to come and, you know, say, hey, well, okay, I'm going to give you a report for this. You know, if you understand what I mean, yeah. So, you know, even if you have to wait until the police reach, you give them your information and explain to them, well, you cannot stay, you would like to leave. You know, if you're feeling pain or anything, always ask for a medical form.
From the police? Okay.
Yes, a medical examination form.
Okay.
If the police, unfortunately, don't have any at the scene, you know, they will take your information. You can go and visit the hospital still. The hospital will have the records. You can go to the police station, any police station. Once the investigator informs the officers, because you cannot just go to a station and say, hey, I want a medical form, and the officers then don't know.
Yeah.
You know, what the situation is. You know, you let the officer contact. For example, the accident may have happened in Bastille, but you live in Parsons. You know, you couldn't stay. You gave the officer your information. But now you want to get the medical form to visit maybe the clinic in Sandy Point, somewhere close, because if you're catching bus, obviously you don't have a vehicle.
Yes.
So they inform the stations, and you get the medical form. The medical practitioner, whether if it's a private doctor or, the government hospital, anybody, they would write their findings on that medical form.
Okay.
And with that, you sign and date the back of the medical form, and I always encourage persons to make a copy.
So that copy is for you?
For you, because the police will need the original for their case file.
So it has to be returned to you, the
Yes.
Oh,
the document has to be returned, and that's another issue that we have. Persons that are not returning the medical forms, but they want to go to the insurance to claim for injuries.
Okay, so
that medical form would have the findings, the medical information from the doctor who examined you.
So when we return that form to you, if it is needed for the insurance, do we come and get the original from you? Because the insurance might not want the copy. You know how it is.
No, they understand. They will
so they'll take the copy?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, they will take the copy, and the accident report will also have the injuries that you claimed for. You wouldn't have the findings from the doctor, but it would, what you complained for. Wherever you complained for pain, if you had laceration, broken bones, anything like that.
Does the officer on the scene, let's say it's you, Officer Bell, do you sign that form before the person takes it? Let's say I couldn't stay, as you said, I have to go. Do you sign it before you give it to me?
If I have it at hand. I have to fill it out with your information, and I have to sign which station I am from and the date.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So just for persons, just to ensure that the officers have to sign the form before you can proceed to whichever medical establishment you're going to go. All right.
Yes. So the basic stuff the police do at the accident scene, they record the explanations from both drivers. Depending on the situation with the accident, sometimes we try to clear up the traffic, before we continue any investigation. You have a verbal conversation with the persons involved to have an idea of what happened, so you know what kind of measurements to take, or even markings, to try free up the flow of traffic, because sometimes we have accidents on the major roads where, you can't really have it blocked for a long period, because it would cause more damage to us than staying there at the scene.
Okay.
So, but mainly we take explanations, damages, and measurements. Some of the basic measurements: the width of the road, length and width of both vehicles, distance from the wheels to the end of the road, distance between both vehicles, distance from, if you're coming out a junction and there was a collision, distance from point of impact to the junction,
So does the measurement determine who caused the accident? Is that ever?
The measurement gives you a more clearer understanding, especially if you're at the scene, or if you have to go back and reconstruct that accident scene. For example, in the event of a fatal accident, those are cases that take a while to come up to complete. Now you go to the judge. The judge was not present, but the judge wanted to have a pictorial image of what really happened.
Yeah.
So we go back to the scene and we reconstruct the scene based on the measurements, whatever photographs we might have taken, the explanations, stuff like that. Sometimes based on the damages too, it shows how severe the accident was.
Okay.
Yes. We always encourage officers to take pictures. We also encourage the persons involved in the accident to take pictures, not just of your vehicle, but of the other vehicle. You don't want when, yes, you're accepting liability, and now the person brings an estimate with damages that you never even caused, but because you weren't observant or you didn't take any pictures to have proof, you find yourself paying for unnecessary damage, because a lot of people take accidents to be a paycheck for them. I'm saying that frankly,
Yeah.
based on my experience. You know, you witness accidents. You know they had damages before, different areas of the vehicle, but they want whoever hit them now to fix everything.
Yeah.
The people are getting the wrong concept.
But then in a case like that, if you weren't aware of what was on the vehicle, then how could you say you're not liable to fix it if you're the person that caused the accident?
Well, I mean, for example, you hit in the back.
Mhm.
You take pictures of
Okay.
exactly what happened. You might not have cracked the rear windscreen to the back.
Mhm.
But now when you're getting your estimate, you have an estimate to repair a rear windscreen. But because you didn't take any picture, you didn't remember everything what
Got
happened.
you. Okay.
You don't have any, factual proof.
Yeah, okay, got you.
So you take pictures for, in the event you have to go to the court also.
Mhm.
You take pictures of the area. The police cannot deny you that.
Okay.
Okay? The only thing that we don't allow is for persons to take a picture of the accident register that we are officially writing the report in.
Okay.
For persons who want the accident report, they go and they pay for it, and they come at traffic and request it. And they should get that report within 7 days. Sometimes based on the accident, for example, if the other party remains in the hospital, haven't given us their explanation as yet, or it's a fatal accident, so the investigation is still ongoing, there's still other stuff to add to that report. The report would not be completed until the investigation is completed.
Okay.
But for minor fender benders, straightforward accidents where you got explanations, damages, measurements at the scene in a timely manner, then the accident report can be completed for you.
I have a off the chat question to ask. For persons that are not from here that get into accidents, whose cases were not solved, can you hold their passports on? Oh, okay.
If it's not for the minor accidents. If life was lost, it's a severe accident, stuff like that. Maybe somebody lost a limb or something like that. Then based on that, certain restrictions can be placed on their traveling.
Okay.
Until we can completely get all the information that we need or what's not.
But you can't hold their documents?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy. Yeah, because I know people that go through, they had accidents with a couple people. I won't identify where they're from.
Yeah.
And these persons have since left. They've gone back to their domains, and their situations have not been solved.
It's an unfortunate thing, but we find that persons, they drag the foot also too. The other party.
The person that belongs there that should have done what they needed to do. Okay.
But in the event where someone comes here, a foreigner, they rents a vehicle, you get in the accident, you're aware that it's a rental, you contact that rental company, that person who owns that rental, you inform them as to what is going on. Okay? They are supposed to be insured.
Yeah.
For liability, whatever accidents or stuff like that. Then when they leave, now the responsibility now is on that person for the rental, because they are the owner of that vehicle.
Yeah.
So any communication and stuff like that now would be with that rental company or that owner of the vehicle. If the matter has to go to the court, then the court decide whatever rulings they want with that. Well, at least you have all the information at hand to produce. The rental company or the owner of the rental company, the onus is on them to get as much information they want from that person before they leave also.
Okay.
If they have to pay any deductible or anything like that in the event where the matter comes up and that person is found at fault, and now that company has to pay out from their insurance, at least they were already compensated with their deductibles and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a couple questions here I'm gonna ask you. They said, I don't understand that part, but I'm gonna ask, is there a law that prohibits a vehicle owner from getting their vehicle inspected for licensing if it has writing on the windshield or back glass? And
Yes.
somebody said, can you advise the officer to quote the traffic laws of St. Christopher and Nevis where they are informing the general public of the traffic laws and regulations?
They want me to quote the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act?
So they're saying...
No, what I'm thinking, my understanding is, if, for example, you're dealing with traffic accidents and you indicate something specific about it, I believe the listener is saying you quote Law 25, paragraph 3, which states anybody hitting from behind anybody getting in an accident must report, as an example. I guess the listener would like to know where in the law that is. I don't know if they have access to it and they want to confirm.
Okay, well, I could give them the wordings for the offenses and they can check the Vehicles and Road Traffic Act and read it for themselves. It would be a lengthy period for me to be here explaining that all the time.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
And then the other one is there a law that prohibits a vehicle owner from getting their vehicle inspected for licensing if it has writing on the windshield or back glass?
Based on our inspection policy, yes.
Ooh. So
the only thing supposed to be on the windscreen is the licensing sticker.
And what about this? Let's say a vehicle has all these stickers on it.
Yeah, they did post. We advise persons to remove them because it would be an obstruction to the vision. If you have all those stickers coming across, especially by the driver's side, or even if you have a passenger sitting with you and you have 12 stickers on that windscreen, that passenger cannot see properly going out.
Is there a law that says we
cannot I have to be very careful with what I say.
Yes, please.
But we cannot prosecute them for having that. That's why we say we advise them to remove it,
Okay.
But is there a law that says where on the vehicle stickers must go? Could you put a sticker, it may sound stupid, but in the middle?
It should be on the opposite side
of the driver. Which makes sense.
Yes.
Because if you have too many, then they're obstructing your view.
Yes.
Okay. I see some drivers driving with telephones and they put it on the dashboard on the center, but it comes up in the middle of the thing, which is a concern to me because...
Yeah, but it's a loophole that they take advantage of. Because the law is for when it comes to using the cell phone, you have to have it physically in your hand. So to avoid that now, they get the stuff there.
Stands.
Yes, so that's the loophole.
But is the stand obstructing the driver though?
If it's in the middle of the windscreen, there will be that blind spot for some point, as small as it is.
Oh, no. It's in the middle. So the driver is clear, the passenger is clear. Let's use the omnibus. Unless it's like right in front of the driver.
But if it's in the middle.
But what I would say, if it's an obstruction for them driving and they continue doing that, then they have no conscience for themselves.
I believe it's only a matter of time before they will get in an accident. Because there is a blind spot, as small as it is. A child come out, an animal come out, and then you have an accident. I believe it's better suited in the right-hand corner, but then again, maybe I don't know. But I've seen it, and I've seen it in more than one, and I should say passenger buses. Because
they're trying not to hold their phones in their hands.
Yes.
It's something traveling on these passenger buses from Sandy Point to Bastille every day and going back home all hours of the day and night, how they operate, which reminds me, officer, I've seen some bus drivers remove the regular size steering wheel and put on smaller ones.
I cannot quote anything to you for now. The only thing I would say that I know, any modification to the original manufacture of that vehicle should be reported to us.
Oh, okay. So when I'm coming to Basti and I see a bus driver with these small wheels, then steering wheels, I take the name and number and say, Officer, I keep calling the officer well, but it's Officer Bell.
Yes, please. I tell you, he had to give name when he goes scenes, you know. People ain't gonna believe he's who he is, you know.
And I, from a physics point of view,
Yes.
it is large, so it takes, when you're turning it, for one complete revolution with the big wheel, it's going to take more than one to turn the wheel in the same amount of angle degree as with the smaller wheel. So I think it's for style. They look good, yes, but I'm not sure for safety. That's just my personal view.
Yeah, but I would have to ask a question. With that.
All right, caller. Okay, we lost that caller. Caller, you can call back. We have a next caller? Okay.
Yes. So other than the medical form, Cartensia, there's the most important document that we issue at the scene within 21 days. That's a notice of intended prosecution.
Yep.
Now, personally, they have an issue signing sometimes because of what the charge is on the paper. But whether or not you sign, once the officer serves you that notice,
Yeah, sure.
it was served.
Okay.
You were informed that you may or may not be prosecuted.
Okay, caller, go ahead for Officer Bell.
Good morning, how are you?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
I'm wonderful. Officer, how are you? Do you know that someone almost drowned over Friars Bay yesterday? Did you heard of it?
No, sir.
Okay, let me explain to you what happened. And this is very, very sad. I mean, I felt I had to call in traffic program to say this. But this is very, very sad, and that is why I'm saying now, our leaders and the people, let me don't say our leaders, our people in authority need to take this message, run away with it, and try to correct it.
Caller, before you continue, please do not call any names, okay?
I didn't call any name.
No.
Authority.
I understand that, but I'm just advising you, please do not call any names. We'll appreciate it. Thank you. Continue.
But if I understand what you are saying, but you only have substantial evidence that you could take me to the court, so you can't call a name.
We don't have access. We don't have access to whatever substantial evidence you have, and that will be opening up the station for libel, and that is something as one I could be carried to the court as well. So please let us not go down that road, please. Thank you.
For time's sake, let us argue and let us don't open the call any name. A gentleman was drowning yesterday at Friars Bay. The ambulance was trying to get there, and because the road is blocked, the ambulance could not get there. They had to call the Coast Guard. And it's surprised that you all don't know about they had to call the Coast Guard to go out to sea and save the man.
We spoke about it. We spoke about it earlier, but remember this is traffic talk, but we spoke about that earlier this morning when we...
I did not know.
Okay.
So I think it's coming up that we have access for ambulance, police, and soldiers, along with the fire department, to go to any beach in this country. So I hope the authorities take advice.
Okay.
This question is concerning.
All right. Thank you, caller.
That's a good point, but...
I don't think that's anything for me to...
No, of course not. Police is police, but we dealt with that this morning.
Yeah, we spoke about it this morning.
The caller said we did not know. He shouldn't assume. He didn't hear us speak about it.
Well...
We spoke about it.
He spoke to Officer Bell, and Officer Bell wasn't aware of it. So he answered that, but I guess he just said what he said. He probably didn't hear us. So he grouped all of us. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Hello?
Could you turn your radio down, please? We're getting a feedback.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
I wanted to ask Officer Brown a question.
Bell, please.
Usually when you rent a vehicle, there's a form that you fill out. And on the form, some may ask, would you purchase insurance from us or not? And you could tick in whichever box if you're going to purchase the insurance and if you're not going to purchase the insurance. Is that legal? How does it work? Because I know if you're renting me a vehicle and the vehicle is insured, As long as I meet the licensing criteria, automatically I should be covered under that insurance policy. So you could explain that a little if you...
Yeah, it's a very important question, Carla. With answering that question directly, I would seek some advice first. However, what I know, anyone driving a vehicle must be covered by insurance. And if that person is not covered by insurance, the owner of that vehicle can be charged for permitting another when not covered by insurance. But based on the policies or whatever contracts these rental companies are having people to sign, if they have any justification with it, I cannot say offhand. I would seek some advice with that. But everyone driving motor vehicles must be covered.
That's a very good...
Must be covered by insurance.
A very good point, like
yes,
you said.
Yes, that's a very, very, very good
It says if
question.
Cartencia has a rental company and I go to rent a vehicle from her, on her form she says, Biff, do you want to pay for insurance, yes or no?
And what I find, and I will say it on the air, what I find some of these owners and rental companies are doing, they when persons don't sign for the insurance, they have them compensate them for their damages them out of their pocket, whether they have to go and get a loan or what's not. And then they still go by their insurance and claim.
Oh.
So isn't the insurance investigating to see if the people paid before?
I am not. I am not sure about that, but that is something that I observe.
Oh, wow.
Well, I don't know about the claiming part, but when I rent vehicles, most, if not all of them, say there's a section that I have to agree that if there are any damages to the vehicle, I will be responsible. So I guess that is the case, and thank God I haven't been involved in any accident. Let me knock wood according to old people. And so could you imagine Peter, whoever, going renting a vehicle, and then he gets in an accident, like you're saying, and because he signed that, he will have to pay for the damages.
If you realize, and this is more happening with the more smaller rental companies, because if you're renting from AFS, you're renting from TDC, you have to pay a fee other than the rental amount. And if you bring back the vehicle and there wasn't any damages or anything, you get back that. You get back that money.
So that might more be like the deductible.
Yes. So in the event that you get in an accident, that will go. But with these smaller rental companies who just rent you at the rate per day, these are what we find that they are doing to people. But as I said, I would seek some advice before I really tackle that, because I have to be very careful with what I say.
Okay. Carla, go ahead. You're live on Traffic Talk. Good morning.
Yes, good day again. Good morning again to everybody. Now, I have a question, and I guess it's a very foolish question, but I'm going to still ask it because I've been wondering concerning it. Now, the foolish question is this. If somebody is learning to drive, and they get into accident, how do you all deal with those accidents as to responsibilities and claims and all those sort of stuff? That is something
That's not a foolish question. That's not a foolish question. However, the driving instructors, when they're licensing their business and insuring their vehicles that they're going to use for their driving school, they have insurance to cover all of that. Okay. When the officer arrives at the scene, that student must produce their permit, and the instructor will produce their driver's license as the one permitting that person to drive. Okay. But they have authority to permit that person to drive based on their business. And that's why we said, not because you have a license, mean you can just go on the road with your child and say that you're teaching them.
Yeah.
You must be a licensed instructor.
Okay.
So that is what that's the authority that the instructors have over regular drivers on the road.
Okay.
Okay.
How long has that been in place, officer? Because I know way back when, before Cartensia was born.
Well, if it was before Cartensia was born, it's sure before I was.
Okay. Person's boyfriend could teach the girlfriend or vice versa.
I think
Father
those were
teach children.
practice that police weren't really paying much attention to.
Yeah.
So the law has always
the
been
law
there for
has
some time.
always been there.
Oh, okay. It's just
Yes.
that they were lenient back then.
Yes.
Fewer vehicles, but now since
And they didn't know.
Yeah.
Because you drove like you actually had a license.
Yeah.
So they couldn't suggest that
And
this person.
and then back then the system wasn't too upgraded how it is now.
But officer, people had more regard for the police because when you go and sneak a time to teach your person to drive, you took them on a back road. You never had them on the public road doing
Yes, and that's
doing
why I said
nonsense,
that's probably a courtesy that the officers were extending to persons, because they didn't. For example, with the school buses, when they slant in the road, there's nothing permitting them to do that. But because it's more good than bad, they haven't had
It's
any.
allowed to.
They haven't had any accidents as a result of that or anything to have any problem with the police. Our courtesy extend to them. Because it's still a way to keep the children safe.
Yeah.
Because if there's an impact, the impact will hit the side of the bus,
not
and the
the
child
child.
could be, based on where the vehicle is coming from, covered. So, yes, I want people to be very careful when they're using the road. Don't just act based on how you feel it should go.
Yeah.
Find out how it actually is. You stop people and they, oh, I know the law, but by the time they reach court, they're asking for pardon. But they were so confident that they knew the law. But when the law is being read to them now, they oh, I didn't know is that I didn't,
Squiddly squat.
Yeah. So don't try to make your friends or anybody next to you feel like, oh, you're so, and make the police feel like they don't know what they're doing or what they're doing is wrong. As I tell people, laws are made, laws are amended.
Yes.
We vote.
Yeah.
So if we have problems with laws, we tell the persons in charge who can go at Parliament and amend these laws what we want to be amended. They would have to check it out and see if it would be more of an abuse or of an advantage. Not because you said you want this, they're going to do this, because if you're going to cause more problems to them, then it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
But if you could come with valid points to support your reason, then that is something they can take forward. But what I find, we more focus on what we can get tangible than the long-term assistance.
Okay.
Because we're going to complain, oh, don't kill.
Yeah.
But the officers are just doing their jobs based on the laws.
Yeah.
If you guys feel like, for example, this fight for marijuana, you see the energy they're pushing for it to be legalized. It's the same thing if you want certain things to be changed in the law. You push with your valid facts. And then if it is supported more at Parliament, then it is amended.
Yeah.
So don't stop and just be abusing the officers or feeling that the officers them are, working based on how they feel. No, we're working based on what is law, because we have to justify our actions.
Yeah. Because almost most of these accidents do make it to court, right?
Yes.
All right. Caller, good morning. You're live on Traffic Talk.
Yes, good morning. Now, as the officer was talking about school bus, what is the law down there on school bus? Like, for example, here in the U.S., once the school bus stops, you're not allowed to pass it. Do y'all have that law down there? Like, the school bus stop to put off a child, can traffic go around it, or they're not allowed to pass it?
To my knowledge, there's no restrictions to that.
Wow.
So
well, that's something y'all should put in place, because then, like, for example, the bus stop to put off a child, you don't have that child have to go cross over the bus. The traffic may come around and hit that child. You know how much kids die from accident like that. So that's something that y'all should really put on the books. Once the school buses stop, we have a stop thing that comes out. No one should be allowed to pass the bus.
All right. Thank you for your contribution, caller. Nice hearing you this morning as well.
Yes. Well, that's a good point, caller, but the school buses out there to the school buses here are different, you know. The school buses here are more of coasters, so they don't have any sign to go out or anything to say stop. There would be a sign to the back of the school bus to tell persons to keep a certain distance behind, you know. But that, with the substitution of what she's recommending, is why the bus drivers slanting the road so no traffic can pass, so the children can pass, cross the road carefully without any oncoming traffic. Yeah. And that's why, as I said, that is a courtesy that was extended from the police, because it's more of good than bad.
Than bad, yeah. Because I even saw an article, funny she would mention, in the U.S., at this particular stop, a news station ended up doing it where persons were just, when the school bus passed, people were just shooting by the school bus. Mm-hmm. Caller, go ahead. You'll be our final caller for the morning. You're live in Traffic Talk.
Good morning.
Morning.
Something to what a lady was just speaking about.
Mm-hmm.
I experienced something like that, especially by the hospital. When the bus put you off to cross the road, and it's about 3 times it happened to me. I don't know if anyone else. You're trying to get across the road, the bus stop. Put the hand out. And you know, people coming from around the bus to pass the bus, and you're trying to get across the road. Just for something happened to somebody, who responds for that? The bus driver?
Okay.
The driver.
I understand what the caller is saying. Mm-hmm. One, yes, even if the bus driver puts out his hand and signal, before you cross the road, you have to ensure that your way is completely clear. Mm-hmm. So not because you jump out the bus, you just automatically start walking across the road.
But the busman stopped. That's a crossing. That's a crosswalk. He stopped for you to pass, and they're supposed to wait till you get across the road.
I understand that, caller. What I'm saying is, when that bus stopped for you, you ensure that all traffic was stopped before you cross, because the bus cannot.
Yes, I did, but some of them don't want to stop. They see the bus stop and they're coming from around the bus.
I don't think they are. I understand what you're saying, caller, but I'm asking, when you're crossing the road, because you're saying buses are still coming, that means vehicles are still coming. Yeah. But that means that the traffic wasn't completely stopped before you cross. Yes, you have.
The traffic clear, but listen to me, right? The bus stopped. A car will be coming behind the bus, and before they let me pass, they see the bus stop, and they're still coming from behind the bus.
Not just the bus that you came out of, all of the traffic. That's what I'm saying. Not just the bus that you...
So, caller, what he's telling you, although the driver would have signaled for the vehicle behind to wait or stop, before you clear to go across, make sure nobody come in, because as we see, they're not adhering to the drivers.
I don't do that, but I don't do that, but sometimes they're faster than I got 2 foot and they need to stop it.
Yes, they need to.
Yes, yeah. Even sometimes driving my own personal vehicle, I stop because...
Some people them aside, the insurance saying, and the money, so you can park up and them up and down, where you going to work so with me, Also, I need to warn them.
Oh. All right, caller. All right, thank you.
The caller has a valid point. Even me, when I'm driving, sometimes, I'm driving and maybe I saw a ditch or somebody is crossing and I stop. But as I stop, I just, woof, somebody just passed me. But the thing is, imagine you see a vehicle stop and you just overtake one time. You don't know the reason why I stopped.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's because there's an obstruction in the road. You don't know if it's because somebody was crossing a ball, I stopped to avoid colliding with somebody. Now you're going to come and collide with that person. Because I was coming down Victoria Road and I stopped because the light was red.
Yeah.
But I saw a vehicle coming, passing down, going, because someone overtaked and went into the gas station. So as that person overtake, they just followed that vehicle. So when they came down, they realized, well, they cannot pass. That person only came because they were going in the gas station. So now they have to go and reverse about 6 vehicles back up, and the vehicles that were behind them came down in that slot, and he has to go way back up.
Oh boy.
But with the point the caller made, it's a valid point.
Yes,
And
yes.
again, I see these things happening on passenger buses. It's really an experience of a lifetime driving on a passenger bus.
I personally feel that we need a updated meeting with the transport board, because there's a lot of infractions there, especially in the way some of the drivers even dress when they're operating.
I agree with that. But several times I've seen persons jump out of the bus. Yes, the driver is flagging down traffic behind.
Yeah, but they don't wait.
And the person walks straight across the road. Don't look left. Don't look
because
right.
they're confident.
I get frightened.
Yes, but and that's what I'm telling the caller. Even though that person stopped for
Flag
you,
down people.
I just stick out my head. Just a little piece of my head at that.
Make sure, because now you're coming from in front of a vehicle with that vehicle coming from behind cannot see you.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that person don't know if the passenger already jumped out as yet or whatever. They see the bus at a standstill. Maybe the driver would have put out his hand, but how long he had out his hand?
That's true.
He might have do the signal and then put down his hand. So by the time that vehicle is coming from behind, all they're seeing is a vehicle at a standstill.
Still, and they're not conscious.
And the oncoming traffic is clear. They ain't seen this person walking in front. And in most of the cases, a lot of these buses don't stop by pedestrian crossings. So if a bus is at a standstill at a normal area that I don't see a crossing, and I don't expect anybody to be crossing there, they have the obligation to ensure that the way is clear. But what they are seeing is just the oncoming traffic. They're not seeing that person who is at a blind spot in front of that vehicle that is at the standstill. So that's what I'm telling the caller. Even though the bus stopped for you, make it sure for yourself also, because even down to persons with this flashing of lights, I've dealt with accidents where persons are in junctions, a vehicle is coming from the oncoming traffic and flash their lights, and they're assuming that the person is calling them out.
Yeah.
But that person now is lighting up and oncoming traffic coming to them that they know. So that's how they hail each other. But that person in the stop ain't look to see if the vehicle is even slowing down or stopping completely. They just came out because they saw the flashing lights, and that's an issue we are having.
Oh boy.
And because it's not only passenger buses doing this, it's the private vehicles.
Yes.
If I'm driving and I see Cartensia, hey, Cartensia, what's going on? And I'm flashing you. And she flash back, why, babe, I'm all right.
Because I'm assuming that person in the stop, they have to wait. But they're thinking that you're allowing
Telling
them
them
out.
to come out. That's why I don't believe in the flashing thing.
And then when you deal with the accident, they're going to say, oh, this person called me out. But that person is saying, I didn't call out that person.
Yeah, I was saying hi to somebody else.
And you cannot blame them for being the cause of the accident, because if you're exiting a junction, you're overtaking, you're doing it at your own risk.
Yeah.
You have to ensure that your way is completely clear, not that the person was far and you try to come out or anything. Completely clear.
Okay.
If you take a chance and you make it out, that's good for you. But if there's an unfortunate situation where you get in an accident, a lot of persons like to say, well, this person don't see me trying to come out, they ain't stop, but that person is on their right away.
They have the right, yeah.
They have the right away. You have to give way.
Okay.
But something before you run off, officer, that is happening now. People overtaking, nobody blowing, nobody putting on an indicator. And I've seen it, especially passenger buses, a vehicle in front, and you just see them pull out and go. Poof. And I believe in blowing to let you know what I'm going to do. Because, God forbid, let's say the vehicle in front turns right, the indicator ain't working, God forbid, and they turn right when you're overtaking. That's a big accident.
Well, if that person can turn right, then you're not supposed to overtake in that area.
Yep.
That's an excellent point.
Yes.
Excellent
if
point,
that,
officer.
If the vehicle ahead of you can make a right turn, you're not
No
supposed to overtake in that area.
Yeah.
And of course, this ain't got nothing to do with my holding on my seat when a vehicle overtaking rows of vehicles almost at the top of a hill. An idea, hope nothing happen, holding on.
And before I go, something that is concerning, Cartensia, the lane, the giveaway lane that is on the bypass by Sky Lounge, and the factory road.
Mm-hmm.
They have the broken lines to show where you can enter to go whichever direction, and persons are using those lanes for overtaking.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I tell you that all the time.
Persons
I see it all
are
the
using
time.
those lanes for overtaking.
And some of them are overtaking just to turn down Factory Road, which is ridiculous.
You have your area that you can enter if you know.
Yeah.
So I really don't know what's going on with persons you talk.
They're not listening.
No. Maybe if you said if you drive safely and don't get in an accident at the end of the year, you're gonna get money. You might see a reduction in accident.
Oh boy, why does money always have to be the incentive for us to do things properly?
Money make me go.
Oh no.
But that might be a bad point.
I believe if the
insurance. So who paying who?
I believe the insurance. You wouldn't be the government.
Yeah, the insurance company got lots of money to pay off.
That
Everybody
point
gonna be
system, if you get in an accident, some persons say you gain points or points are deducted. If everybody start with 100 points, and if you get in an accident within a year, according to the severity of the accident or whatever, whether 5 points, 10, 20, or 25 points.
But isn't that clause
deducted.
in there already? I think the clause is in there. I could ask an insurance provider.
Okay.
But I think it's in there.
I know the only thing they give is the no claim discount.
Oh. Well, it's like that, yeah.
Yeah, but you can get in an accident. But you could get in an accident, but you didn't claim from the insurance.
You have a point, but yeah, I think okay, because you want to know claim discount.
We're talking about the accident on the whole.
All right, I see your point. I see your point. Well, Officer Bell, it's always a pleasure. We didn't get to complete our topic, so I guess we have to. I know we have to complete that next week. At least we're almost to the end, though.
Yes.
But thank you for coming in and enlightening us and letting us know the laws and reminding folks to be careful on the road. You hear the young lady say the busman put out the hand and y'all still come around the bus. So y'all, please, when y'all see vehicle station, even if you didn't see the queue of the busman because you came up afterwards, just wait. Just wait. We don't need anybody dying a death via being hit by a car or being injured and having to stay home, as the lady said, while your life continues, because it's always the victim that suffers the most. I swear. So thank you, Constable Bell. And you have. I can't tell you you're gonna have an accident-free week, but just don't work too hard.
Yes.
All right. All right. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
What are you doing? She said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, she said, drink a rude boy, I will do the work. You don't have to wind up yourself. You don't have to wind up yourself. Oh, cause when we out and we active, living we life. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. Oh, Miss Lady, anyway you see we are we building up our vibes. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. So when we drink, we drinking. Rude boy. Why?
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
could win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4, you could get it all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with Pick 3 and $10,000 with Pick 4 when you play the Mega Ball.
You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play.
This is not a drill. Liat Air's 30-day advance sale is live right now. We're talking prices so low, you'll think we made a mistake. Spoiler alert, we did it. Want to visit Barbados? Say hello, Barbados. Dreaming of St. Lucia? Say hello, St. Lucia. Ready for Antigua? Say hello, Antigua. Here's the deal. Book your flight 30 days in advance and pay ridiculously low fares to any destination in our Caribbean network. That's it. No gimmicks, no catches, just incredible savings. But here's the thing, seats are filling up fast, like last roti at lunch fast. So what are you waiting for? Your Caribbean getaway is just 30 days away and is more affordable than ever. Visit www.flyliatair.com. Call 1268-713-5428 or see your travel agent today. Book 30 days ahead and save big. Liat Air, pride of the Caribbean.
And we're back in Island Tea just about 26 minutes after the hour of 9. And as we continue along, I don't know, Biff, on the international scene, I saw an article where a dad, he killed 7 of his 8 children and shot his wife. And I think he shot the next baby mother. And they said he was in the army. He was never deployed. But they're saying he suffered from depression and whatever else. And then we saw recently, too, in the U.S., a former lieutenant governor deleted his wife and then deleted himself. So,
Deleted?
Yeah, as in killed. Nicer word. Nicer word. Deleted.
I was wondering if it's a computer program.
So
but it's really a sad situation, you know.
But they're saying the men are going through mental health
we
crisis.
have to be thankful we don't have a lot of that happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis, of course.
But we don't know what's going on in the minds of men because men are going through a lot and they don't speak about it.
You hear this army post-stress syndrome of some sort when you go.
PTSD.
PTSD, and I think...
But he went nowhere. He was just in the army, and then he was privately discharged in 2020.
I don't know. It is sad. It's really sad when you hear about children going in a school, shooting children and teachers, and then shooting themselves. I don't know. I'm sure Greg would want to suggest that up there needs a lot of prayer. But then again, I remember a few years ago, they passed a law, I think, that you couldn't have devotions in school because if I'm a Hindu and you're a Muslim...
But they say in school. He killed the kids at home. And the children were 3, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 6, 5. The older one managed... One even went on the roof to try to get away from him. He killed that one too. And then one managed to jump, the one that's alive. I think he's probably the eldest of the lot. He managed to jump down, avoid being killed and being treated for injuries.
That's sad. That's really
so
sad.
When you're going to go all the way out to make sure you kill everybody...
But why? I can't understand. But why you don't go and just go somewhere about and sort out yourself by yourself?
And he took the police on a chase, and guess what? He ended up getting killed. I think he got away too easy. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island Tea. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. morning, Biff. Good morning, Potentia, and all the
Good
other
morning,
listeners.
sir.
I would like to speak to the issue in Friars Bay and the bar owners and the private owners. You see, there are laws, and where there are no laws, something has to be addressed. And if there are laws and there are no laws, some people will take the issue in their hands, which we describe as vigilance. Now, if we have squatters law, and squatters law stands for correction is 7 years occupying a property, since there is no claim within that period of time, or before that period of time. Now here is a private owner. You squat on a private owner's land. And the private owner needs their land. And you give notice, you go through all the first step of mitigating. Then it will have to go to the court. Because, example, in the United States, if I take you into my apartment and it past 30 days, and for some reason I need you out, whether it's at your fault, I have to take you to court, because if I dare act vigilantly on you, the law will go against you. There is a right way, and people have to take into consideration ignorance, and ignorance is not acceptable. There is a right to mitigate a situation. I don't know who is wrong or right. But if this squatter, as described, is on private land, or they said he's on the beach, and on the beach belongs to the people of the Federation of St. Nevis. Why is it between the private land and the beach? Where is the boundary line? Where does the survey mark to say this is the beach and this is the private land? If the squatter is occupying a part of the private land, then yes, you take them to court or find some kind of mitigation. But what is going on? Talking, force, vigilance, not good. It doesn't sound good. It's not just in Central, it happens everywhere. But there's a right way and a wrong way. And we must choose the best path to settle a situation, a dispute. It's not going good. It's not going right. Where government come in, let the defendant file, or let the plaintiff file, and it go into court for a hearing. That's my 10 cents on this matter.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Thank you for your contribution. So whilst you were chatting and I was listening, I was also researching, and I saw something. The question that I asked Google was, what is the squatters' law in St. Kitts and Nevis? It says, in St. Kitts and Nevis, squatting is illegal and constitute unlawful occupation of land, subjecting individuals to potential eviction by the government. However, the government has... Okay, I'm not going to read that part because it doesn't lean to that, because then that speaks to the initiative they did in Lagreed. You know what? Let me read it. However, the government has active initiatives to regularize these settlements, offering occupants of government-owned land opportunities to purchase the land at affordable rates to gain legal title. It says adverse possession. That's the one. So key aspects of squatting in St. Kitts and Nevis is the heading, and I'm going to go straight to adverse possession because this is what makes sense to the topic at hand. While not specifically detailed in results for St. Kitts and Nevis, general legal principles in the region allow individuals, say in the region, so it may not be for St. Kitts as it says, allow individuals who have occupied land without interruption, often for 12 plus years, to potentially claim ownership, provided it is adverse to the owner's title. So it says it's not specific to St. Kitts and Nevis, so I can't say that's the law on the books. I don't know. I can continue to do my research and see what that says. And it says unlawful occupiers can be removed via eviction orders from the magistrate court or high court, and as we see, it says the government can remove you off the land.
That's an interesting point, Cartencia. While we were on break, a lawyer called me, I'm not going to call his name, and said from what he's remembering when he last read the law, when it comes to squatters' rights, it is 12 and a half years for private property and 25 years for crown land, pardon me. So I know I said 7 years this morning, but because for years, that's what I've been hearing, that's what I've known. I haven't done the research on it, so it now forces me to go and get the act or whatever piece of legislation to say if it is 7, 12 and a half or whatever. But again, just to repeat, the lawyer who called, and he was very passionate. He said, well, unless there have been amendments that I am not aware of, the last time I read it, it was 12 and a half years, the squatters' law for private property, and 25 years for crown land. And the crown land, if you notice with the mathematics in there, it's twice the amount for private property. And that's interesting because the caller just quoted 7 years, and I said 7 years earlier. And that is something we're going to have to clarify.
And as I said, with the adverse possession, it says, while not specifically detailed in the results for St. Kitts and Nevis, general legal principles in the region allow individuals who have occupied land without interruption for 12 plus years, and as we said, 12 and a half
12
years.
and a half, yes.
Yeah, to potentially. But there's a lot of legalities that is in this matter. So what are we going to do? Leave it up to the courts and hear what happens and continue to research varying pieces and facets of the law so we can understand what will eventually happen when the results come out?
Yes, the court is always the safest and perhaps the best way to go.
Yeah, because if it's 25 years for Crown lands, I'm not a native of St. Kitts. I've been here almost 30 years, but how long has Shipwreck been there?
Oh, you're just going to ask if you're confessing to squatting.
No, never. Never.
That was a
no. How long has Shipwreck been on the land? Have they been past that 25 years?
I think they've been in excess of, well, even 3 decades.
Oh, 30. See, I do not know. I was little. I didn't know about Shipwreck back then, so I don't know. I can't say how long they've been.
And I've been going to Shipwreck way back when. I managed the band that played there quite a few years ago.
Okay.
And I don't know. But before we slip away, Cartencia, or perhaps slip into another topic, Antigua and Barbuda, they have elections on the 30th. So, as we just
silly season?
Yes, the ground war done start. And the opposition said if they are voted into power, they are going to have a 4-day working week. You work for 4 days, you're off 3 days. They also said that they're going to remove the duties on vehicles, and I have to confirm for who.
And who's going to pay for that afterwards?
Well, that's where the Prime Minister came in and rebutted and said those are really pie in the skies. Because
everybody knows that.
who gonna pay for the duty downfall on the vehicle? And he also said they are currently discussing, that is Prime Minister Gaston Brown said, they are discussing the 4-hour week. So
they basically want to say that they steal it from them?
Yes. He did say that that's not an original idea. That came, he didn't quite say it came from us, but he said we already started looking at that, investigating that and things like that. I think the thinking is working from 8 in the morning to maybe 6 in the evening, 6:30 or something to that effect. And then, but what will happen, I am thinking, that would make sense, is that there is a shift system, for want of a better expression. You work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I off Monday, but I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because business has to go on for how many days or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And that would only thing make sense.
Oh. Yep. Caller, go ahead. You're live on Island T. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you guys, man.
Morning, Pearl. How are you, sir?
Morning. Yeah, good morning, man. How you guys doing, Biff, man?
I am blessed, highly favored, and giving thanks. What about you?
Yeah, pretty good myself, man. Like you said, man, the situation with these bars, these beach bars, right? There's a lot of legalities, man, involved here. And me in particular, I believe that this is... Let me ask you a question, Biff. Is this thing in court, man?
That's a good question. I don't get the impression it's there yet.
The parties got this in court or what?
I haven't heard anything to suggest that. I am not saying it is, I am not saying it's not. It's just that I haven't heard anything to suggest that. Amidst all the talk and the debates, that has not come up that it's in court. Because if it is, there are certain comments persons can't make. And I am not hearing that.
We should actually find that out, man, because this is so much legalities around this issue here, you know, and I'm to the point where I'm tired of this back and forth, man. Let the court handle the legal issues in the federation, and that's one of the things I'm not seeing in St. Nevis. You know, even when here in the United States, Donald Trump signed all of these executive orders, right? They be challenged in court. Whether he gets his way in court or not, he's seeing these things play out in court. Most of the time, sounds like some goes in his favor and some don't. And that's how the court system is, 50-50 chance when you go in front of these judges. But I want to see the lawyers underground put some type of committee together, independent of the government, and whenever any legal issue comes up, especially when these issues are national issues. You know, like Maha was saying before, there is certain overarching effects that's still going to remain. And God sometimes lets some events happen for reasons. That incident that happened on the beach over the weekend, a lot of the talk that we had so far, no one even discussed about suppose there's a medical emergency on the beach. So my thing now is that even after when the Ritz-Carlton comes, that access to the beach should not be blocked off, because suppose one of their patrons is down on the beach in front of their hotel and they got a medical emergency. And we know in most medical emergencies, the first few minutes is very critical whether that person's life is going to be saved or not. So if the ambulance can't get into the beach from the land road, then probability of that person being saved is going to be very slim.
But I really don't think when the establishment is done, it's going to be blocked. It's blocked now because of what is happening.
They want
them gone. Yeah.
But I'm just realizing, Cartensia, putting some mathematics to it. The article said that the Coast Guard transferred them to Cockshell Bay, I think it was.
No. Take them to Carambola, where the ambulance was waiting to transport them in.
No, let's apply some mathematics. I make a call. Hey, Coast Guard, there's somebody here having issues. How long do you think it's going to take the Coast Guard to go from around here to that point? 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes? I don't know. But I'm just introducing a timeline.
But let me ask you a question. Suppose the Coast Guard is occupied on the northwest side of the island, rescuing somebody over there already. What should the Coast Guard do? Drop that person and take off? Somebody's going to pay. Somebody's life is going to be really serious risk.
That's deep. And you're so correct.
And then,
but I'm here.
And then what happens to me? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm here also thinking, these boulders in the road, some individual has blocked access, blocked the road. So could I go and put boulders somewhere in the road in Sandy Point, preventing vehicular access? If I do so, what will become of me?
You're gonna exactly.
So why is nothing being done about whoever put those boulders there? Why aren't they being removed?
So Biff, I'm gonna tell you right, the whole situation got to be civil. Because one of the points the other caller from the USA mentioned was that persons can get a temperamented, and then in the split of the moment we have a fight in the street. So you ask the question, where does the government come in? First of all, the government, McMahon is pointing to the fact that the government is yearning on the developer side. The government is pushing for this development to come. So they're trying to act as mediators, but they got to be fully involved. You know, somebody can't just go over there and block individual person just can't go over there and pass the road as what somebody has already done this now. First of all, if this stuff is in court, it got to play out, and whoever comes out victorious will get a court order from the court to give them the directives. And then even when they get the directives, it's important to go there with a police officer. Man, if in most cases, you see, that's where you see, when they compare the back home states, back home is lagging behind, believe it or not. Lagging behind. Our judicial system is corrupted and backlogged. You know, we got to get the place cleaned up for small islands and low nation. And with all that before these guys collected in the CBI program, man, St. Christine should be in tip-top shape. No doubt about it. Nobody can fool me about that. The thing is, we had the money. We spent up the money and mismanaged with the money like a drunken sailor man. And then now we're strengthened. You know, the legal situations got to be played out in court. And even when somebody wants to take the law in their hands, it's not a good idea to do that. They got to wait until the court gives them that final order, and then they act on that. And like I said, lastly, let me just reiterate this point. Even when the Ritz-Carlton comes, the people has to still get that access to the beach, proper access. And I'll leave it there, babe. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you so much,
Paul.
Will.
Have a good day.
But I think when I mentioned last week about access for the should remain for all the beaches, access, as I read the article when Dr. Harris said access to all the beaches are supposed to remain. You remember the article I read something last week? I have to go and find it, but I think
I think it was.
Yeah, all beaches are supposed to have public access. They can't tell us we can't go to the beach.
Indeed, and I remember even before I mentioned Barbados with the Jack on the Beach song by the mighty Gabby. It stemmed from something like that. And
St. Lucia too. I don't know if you ever saw that in St. Lucia. They had bad off the beach. That was a big issue. The people came and pick up whatever bad, shove it down, whatever, and they had music and stuff saying no. That's a no. They were even asking the government, how is it you can allow this to happen? The beaches are public. They can't just bar off the beach and say we can't walk there. I can understand telling them they cannot walk through your establishment because that's trespassing. If you ain't going there, you ain't got no reason there, don't go to the people thing and them. But they have to maintain the public access to the beach. The beach is ours.
The beach is mine, according to the mighty Gabby. And that came up again, and the song was resurrected. I like the song irrespective of the issues or why. It's a lovely song in my view. And it came up a few years after with protesters on the beach, and that was the road march, as you could imagine. The beach is mine. Because, but the caller asks, where are the boundary lines between the land and the beach? That again is a good question. I will have to get some confirmation on that.
But didn't they say it was recently surveyed? Didn't the proprietors on that beach surveyed to prove that they weren't on the developer's land? And to say they were more on government land? And the fact is, we see, as I said, we'll have to continue to research of the law, because if he's there 30 years on Crown land, then he has
squatters' rights.
He has rights.
Exactly.
All right, we'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
When power stops, your world should not. For April, the TDC Home and Building Depot's product of the month is the GD Super Multi-Purpose Solar Generator. Instant, silent, and efficient power for your home, office, or any other space. Our 600-watt generator was $2,070, now $1,182. The 1500-watt was $2,772, now $1,965. And our 3000-watt powerhouse was $6,405, now $3,960. Finish your projects. Continue your business. Enjoy your life. Available at the TDC Home and Building Depots on St. Kitts and Nevis and at shoptdcgroup.com.
Don't throw those bottles away. Turn them into money today. Vitamalt bottles equal cash in your pocket. It's super easy. Just take those empty Vitamalt bottles to any Cara Brewery distribution truck or any drinks depot in St. Kitts and Nevis. We're keeping our beautiful Twin Island paradise clean. Vitamalt bottles equal cash back. Keep it clean, keep it green. Vitamalt bottle returns. Your bottles, your cash, your island.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
This is not a drill. Liat Air's 30-day advance sale is live right now. We're talking prices so low, you'll think we made a mistake. Spoiler alert, we did it. Want to visit Barbados? Say hello, Barbados. Dreaming of St. Lucia? Say hello, St. Lucia. Ready for Antigua? Say hello, Antigua. Here's the deal. Book your flight 30 days in advance and pay ridiculously low fares to any destination in our Caribbean network. That's it. No gimmicks, no catches, just incredible savings. But here's the thing, seats are filling up fast, like last roti at lunch fast. So what are you waiting for? Your Caribbean getaway is just 30 days away and is more affordable than ever. Visit www.flyliatair.com. Call 1268-713-5428 or see your travel agent today. Book 30 days ahead and save big. Liat Air, pride of the Caribbean.
When power stops, your world should not. For April, the TDC Home and Building Depot's product of the month is the GD Super Multi-Purpose Solar Generator. Instant, silent, and efficient power for your home, office, or any other space. Our 600-watt generator was $2,070, now $1,182. The 1500-watt was $2,772, now $1,965. And our 3000-watt powerhouse was $6,405, now $3,960. Finish your projects, continue your business, enjoy your life. Available at the TDC Home and Building Depots on St. Kitts and Nevis and at shoptdcgroup.com.
Buster! We run things, things are on we. Buster! Buster! Living color, do it differently. Buster! Buster! Large and in charge, like for the party. Buster! Buster! We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
7 flavors, best taste. Buster! Bolder, better, better. Pick your color.
We set the pace, then everybody follow it.
Buster! Live in full color.
Buster!
And we're back on Island Tea, just about 8 minutes before the hour of 10. And this is where we leave it here for today, Biff.
Yes, Hortensia, and I'm still in shock basically with those 50-something bodies especially, and the father with these children. Come on, give me a break. Some people can't get children, and you have children and you...
Well...
Why you going to get them in the first place?
That's how we do. And it's... Wait, I have a little article to read as it pertains to the 50
Don't bite your
bodies.
tongue, don't
I
bite.
know I wanted to read it quickly. This is from United Pac St. Lucia. It says Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Besesser says the San Fernando Municipal Police Station incident was not an external attack on the TTPS or National Security Services, but an internal betrayal involving the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service attached to the San Fernando City Corporation. She also said the bodies found at the Cumuto Cemetery were not homicide victims, but unclaimed corpses that were being improperly disposed of. So she went on to say the Prime Minister, she says there's no need for a curfew and urge law-abiding citizens to go about their business as authorities work to resolve both matters and recover stolen items. All right, and with that, we will close up for today. Have yourselves a great Monday. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for being with us today, Hortensia. Have a good week.